Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for stopping by for part seven. Continuing along the lines in terms of getting this budget together. I think I saw some good gains last year with velocity banking, but I've also went out of the scope of the budget that I had in general. So thinking that if I can really hone in on this budget, I can really excel even more in 2025 with velocity banking. So let's get into it. And I'm looking at just basically the not necessarily comparing, but analyzing one of my mortgages against velocity banking. So if I zoom in, this is one particular mortgage that I have, one of three. One was paid off last year using velocity banking. Now I'm attacking another one with velocity banking. For this particular mortgage, it had a principal balance starting in 2020 or working within 2024 of $27,243.76. The monthly payment was $673, principal, interest, and escrows and taxes. If we zoom in a little further, we can see that my taxes kind of exceeded fundamentally the principal and the interest of the mortgage itself. And the escrow was about $370, $370 a month. Now, with the one mortgage that I paid off, the escrow was about 350. So no longer is that 350 going to the bank or the financial institutions. Now I'm keeping it within the velocity banking and the HELOC that I have, which is helping to bring down the principal and compound it. So with that particular mortgage that's paid off an escrow of $350 a month around 12 months, that's $402 a year that would be sitting in the HELOC, helping to pay it down to zero. Coming back to the mortgage itself, the principal and interest we see again was much higher than the escrow. The interest rate on this particular loan that remains is 6.875. The HELOC itself, as you will see, is 10.25. So with the current balance beginning around 2024 of 27,243, interest rate 6.875. I couldn't find the other two statements, so I need to look for them. But from 03124, that was the principal, till the principal being now 2653.79. So that was about $1,770.99 paid down in principal over the last month, in the last 9 months, or $196.78. Now, this is the mortgage itself, beginning in March, about 27,824, to ending 12/01, about 2653. Difference about 1,770 less principal I paid over the last 9 months. Now, and I got that by taking 1,770, which was the principal reduction, divided it by 9, came up with $196.78 per month in principal reduction on this particular loan. Now, in general, let's see, 196 per month. Okay, so I can go ahead and erase this. This was a earlier calculation. Let me take that out. Okay, now let's take a look at the HELOC. Or I'm sorry, let me go over to the mortgage itself. This is the same mortgage, and this was the last statement, 12/9. Together, 17,807.68. 17,807.68 plus 8,246.11. The principal 26,053.79, as I indicated here, 2605379. Now, in looking at the HELOC, I started the HELOC in April of 4th, 2024, 50,500. The HELOC had an interest rate of 10.25. But what I was able to do, a principal reduction, the highest that the HELOC got for that time frame was 50,934 because I just started off and I was just paying the interest. And the lowest that I got it down to over the 9-month period from April to December was $40,343.67 at one point in time. So the difference between the 50 and the 40 was about $10,591 in principal reduction. Then I divided that by 9 to get that I reduced the principal by approximately $1,176.78. Now, that came at a cost because I was also using cash advance of 1860, and that was about 20, I'm gonna just go ahead and say $30 a month. So $30 a month over a 9-month period. That was $270 that I've paid in fees to get down to 10,591. So between the principal reduction of 10,591 using cash advance and my HELOC against the principal payment of one of my existing mortgages of 1,770.99, that was about $8,820 difference. So it appears, just looking at these two data points and trying to analyze it to do a better job with the budget, I was able to get some good principal reduction in using the HELOC at 10.25 against 6.875, even with a cash advance of 18%. So in going forward, as I began to really look at the budget, because again, I spent out of the budget scope last year, trying to really zero in on it. My SMART strategy being specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound strategy would be to work with my current business HELOC investor to potentially secure another round of funding. Now, again, this is an investor HELOC that I'm using, so I have a higher rate. If I was living in one of my properties, which I do not, I live in an apartment, then my HELOC would be much lower, and I probably could have did more damage than just 10,000 in principal reduction in general. But again, I'm going to have to move forward with another investor HELOC, which will probably have a higher interest rate. The SMART action steps. The difference between the strategy and the action step. The strategy is the plan. What do team members within Dr. Financial Literacy plan to do to try to reach the goal? The action steps actually represent on the ground actual actions that you can touch, hold, or whatever, but it's the real action of the team. So one of the things that I wanted to do was continue with the Walmart cash advance, but as I noted earlier, Walmart discontinued their relationship with Capital One, but that was $300 additional dollars, didn't pay interest on, just went into Walmart, made some charges, and got the cash. The second action step, the continued advance at 1860 from Navy Federal, 18%, about $28 a month. Place my entire W-2 check into the HELOC except for $36, which are 3 different fees that I'm paying on the checking account. So I want to work on that. Also, once my check hit the deposit, then I move it over to the HELOC, but I'm paying about $36 a month in fees. I'm going to continue to watch or read about 2 to 3 hours or more financial news or videos per day. Let me put that in here, per day. And continue to leave the money, as much of my cash flow, inside of the HELOC so that it can compound. So if last year my cash flow was $390, that stayed into the HELOC the best that I could. I had to pay the escrow, the taxes on one of the properties. That was about $3,600. So the cash flow from last year was about $390 a month times 12. So I should have been able to have 4,680 sitting inside of the HELOC, barring some expenses that occurred. Six, I want to do or secure another, let's put secure another personal or business line of credit with 0% interest for 18 to 20 months. If I'm able to secure a business or a personal line, preferably a business, then I may be able to do away with the cash advance as I has utilized it in general, and really home in on learning how to use this line of credit 0% to also use the velocity banking strategy. Okay, well, that's what I wanted to just start part 7 as I continue, because I really think the budget that I had last year was okay, but I did not include inflationary pressures against that, so I'm going to include that. Two, really want to secure a 0% credit card, and I'm thinking I can reduce the principal from that 10,000 to maybe bump it up to 15 or 20,000. All right. Well, thank you very much for continuing to watch. Have a great day. Look forward to you on the next side. Have a great day, everyone. Bye bye.